All right. Hello, everyone. I am Miss Gutierrez or Miss G. I am going to be your TA instructor for the course Masters of American Literature for this summer 2023. Woo woo. All right. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce to you who I was, as well as go over my TA information sheet because everything is going to be online. We're not going to have a lot of interaction. You're going to have videos, you're going to have readings. So that's why I wanted to do this so that my TA is a person. I can come talk to her. Yes, you can. You have a question about a lecture, you have a video, you have a question, um, about grades or anything, come talk to me. I am a PhD student here at UT Austin in the English department. American literature is all part of my wheelhouse. I do focus mostly in more like recent time, 20th century literature, particularly pop culture. So comic books. I'm a big fan of comic books. I help with the Latinx Pop Culture Lab that we have in RLP on the fourth floor. So whether it's summer, whether it's spring, whether it's fall, you can always stop by and say hi. We have a large screen TV for watching movies, for playing video games, just interaction. We do have from time to time comic book workshops. Um, as well as other things too. So, like I said, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm going to share my screen right now so that we can go over. Um, I'm just going to put share screen. Okay, so I don't want to start here. I've got my team sheet. Okay, so here's my full name. Of course, you can always call me Miss Gutierrez, Miss G, Miss Ma'am, maestra, professor, profe, anything like that. Just do not refer to me by my first name in person or through emails. For the first week, I absolutely understand if you can make that mistake. I will just do a polite reminder for you. Anything after that, if it still persists, it could jeopardize when I do answer your email. Um, so you always want to be courteous, particular to your TAs and your professor. And one of the reasons I'm going to go, I guess, probably one of the reasons I do this, and it's mostly because I am your grader. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to help you. So think of our course instructor as the manager, and I am your supervisor. So that's why I don't let you call me Anna or Anna or anything like that. Um, because I am here to my job is to make sure that you get through this course. Okay, so the kind of that, like I said, that courtesy interaction. Um, so nobody take it personal whatsoever. I am going to have office hours, which might be a little different from some of the other TAs. We have one set up on Wednesday and Friday online. It's going to be the same link or dial-in number. We're not going to have two different anything. So if you need to ask me a question on Wednesday, you need to ask me a question on Friday. First, week or two, stop by and say hello, give me your name, you see your face. That way when I'm grading, I can put a face to the name. If Wednesday, Friday isn't good for you, you can reach out to me to see about Thursday. We can make an appointment online. And that's because during the summer I am not in Austin, so online is always uh better for me. Now I'm going to also share with you my office hours sign up. It says Friday, but it should say Wednesday. So everything that we've already gone over is in this document. And then there's a section for Wednesday sign up and Friday sign up. The reason I do this is because if we are going to talk about your grade, I don't want anybody, I don't want like 10 people showing up right at 11 o'clock. So do sign up for your time. You don't have to just sign up for one box. You can sign up for two. You can sign up for three. You just can't sign up for the entire offer. Um, so you can choose 10 minutes, 20, 30. Do leave just a brief message on what you want to go over because we do have such that minute time of 10, 20 minutes that if you just pop in and say, I want to know why I got this grade, and I don't have time to adequately prepare, that takes away from your 10 minutes or your 20 minutes or your 30 minutes. We want to utilize this as best as possible. That's why I do have these for you. So you have the link there in my TA sheet. I'm just going to go back to sharing this. I know it's easy just to go on Canvas and send me an email that way. I will say Canvas email, because it's another system, it can add to when I respond back. So it's just faster if you just send me a message right through Gmail. Okay, let's get through some more of the serious stuff first. I am a mandatory Title IX reporter. What does that mean? If you tell me that you are being harassed, if you are in a domestic violence situation, if you are being stalked, if you tell me your friend who also goes to UT is having this issue, I do have to report it to the Title IX office. The Title IX office will reach out to you and they will ask, do you want to proceed forward with anything? Do you need any type of help or services with school? And you can say yes or no, and it can end right there, or they can help you move forward with anything that you might be needing. All right, academic dishonesty. Cite. When in doubt, cite, cite. I don't care if it's something as simple as Spark Notes, you need to cite it. At least make an attempt to cite it. Because if not, it can be considered plagiarism, other types of academic dishonesty. If you use an AI uh, machinery, if you pay somebody else to do it, pay someone else to do your homework, that is cheating. What is going to happen, depending on the severity of the dishonesty, you can either get a 0 on the assignment, you can get a 0 through the course. And we do also have to report you to the dean of students. The dean of students is going to hold a formal inquiry to see what you do, and it can very much jeopardize your career here. You might not get your diploma the 4 years, so just don't do it. Okay, you don't have to worry about getting caught if you just don't do it. Academic accommodations, if you do feel that you have a disability or something that does require you to get, some assistance in the course, do reach out to Disability and Access. You can give them a call. You can send them an email to make an appointment with one of their they're like a coordinator for you. If you already have your academic accommodations approved by Disability and Access, you are going to receive a letter. You do have to turn in that letter to your course instructor. That allows you and the course instructor to discuss the best ways of proceeding forward with the accommodations that you have been approved for. You do not need to share any of your disability or diagnosis with anyone unless you wish. Okay, that remains entirely private between you and Disability and Access. It is not going to be shared with anybody else. It is on, the only thing that I'm going to know is how best to support you in anything that you need. I'm not telling any of the other TAs. I'm not telling any of the other instructors because part of FERPA, all of that remains confidential. So do not feel like people are going to know any of your business because they're not. If you do need any mental health resources, I do have them listed here. I do also provide a disability content disclaimer because we are doing American literature, and we are going to be doing very early American literature. You might read some information that has violence, racism, physical abuse, anything like that. It can be very triggering for some people. And while discomfort and, you know, uncomfort, things like that are the first steps in learning, we don't want anybody to be traumatized or re-traumatized with this material. If you are having difficulty getting through a reading, getting through an assignment because of that, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to our course instructor to let them know we will both work with you to see what we can do to help you get through that by any means. Like I said, as your TA, I am here to facilitate an environment that you're going to feel comfortable asking questions. You are going to feel comfortable saying, I need a break or anything like that. Because it's going to be online, we're not going to have a lot of interactions for it to be a classroom setting, but still, always come speak with me if you have any questions or anything like that. I've probably repeated this many times, but my office hours are specifically for grading questions and grading disputes of any kind. Email. So if you are not a verbal person, totally understand. You can send me an email at any time. And I do mean at any time. You can send me an email at 2 a.m. Am I going to respond at 2 a.m.? I am not going to respond at 2 a.m. You might get a response early in the morning, or some other time, but those time steps do create, they do create this kind of a what am I my like a timestamp on when so that way if you're like, oh, I needed to send this real fast, I just remembered I forgot to do this assignment, it's better to send it right when you remember and not 2 or 3 days later. Now, do keep in mind for weekdays, which are Monday through Friday, I am going to try to respond as quickly as possible, and that's because with a summer course we are moving very quickly, so I don't want you to have to wait 2 or 3 days to do that. um However, on the weekends, you are going to have to give me 2 days. If you send me a notice on Saturday morning, you might not get a response until Monday morning. That is entirely normal. Okay. So use these hours as a way to see when do I need to follow up with Miss Gutierrez. So if you send me a notice on Saturday morning, it's now Wednesday, you haven't heard back, it's outside that 48-hour window. You can say, hey, Miss Gutierrez, I haven't received any type of response. I just wanted to follow up with you, anything like that. If you're going to follow up with me in 4 hours, I'm going to tell you you're going to have to wait the full 48 hours or 24-hour window. But this is why I always say do not wait until the last minute if you have any questions, because it's one thing to do at 10 o'clock and you send me an email at 9:50, you're not going to get a response. We're going to have to work through that. You can use your subject line to inform me of what it is you're needing. Like if you have a question, you need some Zoom hours on Thursday, you need an extension of 24 hours, et cetera, et cetera. This also lets me know what do I need to prioritize for you. Now, your subject line should not be the only thing that tells me what you're needing through your email. I do ask that you provide professional opening, dear Miss Gutierrez, or good morning, Miss Gutierrez, good morning, Miss G, hi, Miss G, anything like that. You put the information that you're needing, any type of time frame, and then you always have a respectful send off, like, sincerely, respectfully, thank you, best, anything like that. And then you can do your own personal closing and things of that way. So email etiquette is very much important in any of our academic careers. So kind of keep that in mind. Um, well, the information I'm pretty sure that everybody's really curious with is the grades. Um, let's see. So I am your TA evaluator. I'm going to be the one that's going to be grading you all throughout this course. The way it's going to work is that you are going to have a grading surveyor contract. So you are going to tell me what grade that you are expecting to make. And then I'm going to grade. Now, with the survey, you might say, I am expecting to make an A. I'm going to put through enough work to make an A. Does that mean you are going to automatically receive it? No, that does not. I'm going to be grading you based on the quality of your work and the completion of your assignments. Okay. That's why I'm like, office hours. You're like, I'm looking for an A. I'm giving you this work. You gave me a B minus. You gave me a B plus. Okay. But this is kind of how you and I are going to communicate. Now, if you want to see, that's fine. No problem here. C's get degrees, anything like that. But that's how this course is going to work. You are going to come through a contract. You're going to say, this is what I'm expecting, and I provide you the grade. That's kind of how you get to know me. Now, one of the things that I do that might be also very different is that I do provide you with grading feedback. This is the link that we are going to have for this course. There isn't anything in it yet. I did pull up wanted to also share this with you, some grading feedbacks for some previous courses that I did. This is not to call anybody out. I'm not going to be putting anybody's name. This is all generalized feedback, maybe something that I'm seeing the entire, you know, of our entire group is doing something, or something that I think might be helpful for you. So, like what a reflective essay is, how do we want to scaffold? How should we look at the rubric? If you are having computer issues, what steps should you take? You know, bullets versus paragraph, always read the instructions. This is an example on how we can put some citations and numbers, bullet points, always use complete sentences. That's all this is for. What you can use the grading feedback sheets for is to go through and say, okay, what has Ms. Gutierrez put through as a reminder so that you do not do it on your next assignment, right? If I say, let's, remember to use our quotation marks, and your next assignment comes in without quotation marks, that could cost you some points. That's all this is for. Okay. And I know it's a little different. You can go through, but every one of our assignments, I'm going to put a little notation here, or even say like, hey, we don't need any notations for this particular grading feedback. But sometimes you're going to say, hey, I did everything that the grading feedback told me to do, but I'm still making a B plus. Come talk to me. Now, what I'm going to ask that you do is that if you do have a question or a grade dispute, do come and talk to me first, or send me an email. With email, I'm limited with how much I can list or I can say because of FERPA. So that's why we are having verbal office hours discussions, but you can always just send me a quick email on that. Now, if we cannot come to a resolution or anything that you are agreeing to, we will send it up to Dr. Christensen for further review, and he will be the last word on what your grade will be. Now, if you're concerned that Ms. Gutierrez gave you a B plus and you wanted an A, and he goes, well, Ms. Gutierrez was being very nice and she should have given you a C. He is going to be the final say on that. But do keep that in mind. Come to me first, and we will see when we need to go to Dr. Christensen for any type of further review. And right now we have come to the end of our TA sheet. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. So like I said, I'm a very friendly TA. I'm here to help you get through any part of the course or process anything that you might be needing. Please, in the first 1 or 2 weeks, drop by and say hi, introduce yourself, tell me how your summer's been going. um, you know, what are your future goals, or anything like that. I'm always very interested in hearing from my students. Well, I do hope that you have a great course nonetheless, and you know how to reach me. Bye.